Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited for this episode, not only because of my special guest, but also because this episode will be our first post to our YouTube channel. Score! Exciting, right? Super excited about that. So before I get too wrapped up into my own excitement about what's happening here today, I want to shout out my new listeners. There's something going on in North Carolina, y'all, and I'm here for it. So thank you all for joining me from all of the different cities in North Carolina. I see you all. Thank you so much. And for all my listeners, my regular listeners, thank you for choosing to be here with us today. As usual, I am grateful. Listen, friends, I'm so excited. I've talked and talked and talked about my sisters and how amazing they are. I have talked about the incredible community of women that pour into me and cover me. And I have talked to y'all about having a live hype crew in the group chat now. Well, honey, today I am so geeked, so excited to have my sis, Stephenie Wheeler-Smith, joining us today. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey.
So I know I'm so excited to have you here. For y'all that may be just joining this journey with me, please understand how much I sweat my sisters, how much I sweat the women in my life. And this is one of the incredible women that I lean on and have leaned on throughout my life. So I'm super excited to have her here with us today. How are you doing?
I am well. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
I know. You guys, this is kind of a cheat also, right? Because look, my girl is busy living her best life and I'm living life over here. And so with this whole pandemic, we haven't seen each other in the way that we're used to seeing each other. And so this is an amazing excuse for us to get together.
Absolutely.
So before I get too ahead of myself, I want to make sure that I open up the floor for you to shout out this wonderful t-shirt that you have on today. You want to shout out this company?
Oh, yes. This is Blessed and Thankful, located here in Seattle, Washington. The Turners, the Turn Up crew, Marlon and Vicky Turner. And they have a whole line, y'all. Check them out. They got more than shirts. They got a whole bunch of good stuff. So Blessed and Thankful.
Yes, you guys have seen me post about them before. They have a ton of candles, but let me tell you about this one.
This one.
What is it? Ginger and white tea?
Yes. White tea and ginger.
White tea and ginger. Get me together. White tea and ginger. Honey, listen. This is a whole mood.
A whole
this is like mood. Peace in a jar, right? It's like peace in a jar. I'm so serious. I like that thing, and it's just
whole house just smelling good.
And it's important to me to support Black businesses. And so I am not endorsed or supported by this group, but this is World Envision. They are a couple of young Black male entrepreneurs who have a clothing line. I'll include both the tag to World Envision and Blessed and Thankful, so you guys can check them out on their social media platforms. Moving forward for what we're here for today. I know all about my girl and her fabulousness. PDX born and raised.
Yes.
Draped in that blue, gold, and white. Come on, Jefferson High School demo, stand up. All right.
Yes, I say.
Demos, I say. You know. Come on.
You know.
Friend to all, sucker to none.
Absolutely.
Okay. Title winning coach, intelligent and educated, I had to make that distinction because one doesn't always equal the other, right? But my sis went out here and got her bachelor's and her master's, right? She is Boeing tested, U of O approved. Come on. Rooted in community and all things Black. Come on. Say it. All right. Full-time wife, mother, and goddess. Tell them
Say it.
Tell them mm-hmm. Faithful servant to the Lord.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Momtrepreneur. Did you get that? I said momtrepreneur.
Yes. Because it's a word.
Come on. It's going to be today if it wasn't one before. Right. And somehow my girl makes time to serve on boards. So, I mean, as you can see, this is me being silly in a nutshell. Future guests, don't worry, I'm wilding a little because this is my fam here, but I'll be on my best behavior with y'all. But this is her in a nutshell, right? And this doesn't begin to cover all of the amazing things that you've done, but let's kind of start from the beginning. Like, let's talk about, I think sports is such a huge part of your life. And it's one of the first things that I think of for you, and the doors that it opened for you to do the many other things that you've done. How did you come to a place where sports was such a huge part of your life? How did you begin in sports, and what moved you to begin playing specifically? I know you played a lot of sports, right? I remember softball, volleyball, and basketball. But specifically basketball. What brought you to that?
I would have to say just being in the midst of other people playing basketball, and then my close friends, that was kind of like their main sport. My dad played basketball. My uncles played basketball. My brothers played basketball, and it was like the beautiful sport, right? You know, you had Michael Jordan. That I came up during the Jordan era, and so that was my guy. He was on my walls. I wanted to be like Mike, right? And so basketball became sort of this this entity in my life. As I reflect back on all the things that I've experienced, and even my relationship with the Lord, basketball was this gift that I believe God gave me to save me, really and truly.
What did you see for yourself in the sport, right? Like when you were in high school, you got a scholarship to go play in college. Like, what did you see yourself doing with basketball? And who kind of had their arms wrapped around you to kind of push you forward in your basketball career?
Yeah. So when I was in high school, the next phase was college, right? And so I used to watch college basketball, and I used to see those women playing basketball at a high level, right? And so that was my aspiration. And then you would see basketball at the Olympics, and so it became this thing of, oh, okay, well then I could potentially go to the Olympics, right? And then eventually the WNBA was introduced, or the ABL was introduced, but it was ultimately this idea of, I can see the world. I can go all around the world with this, or anywhere in the world with this. And it was like the vehicle that would take me around the world. And so that's kind of what drove me. And then, you know, years later, it just became this thing of, you know, these life lessons and these things that became a part of me, that I couldn't let go of. And then I had a moment with the Lord where the Lord literally kind of told me, you know, I gave you this. I gave you this to save you, right? I gave you this so that you could understand life, so to speak. And so when I had that experience, I think I was in college, and towards the end of college, and I had some injuries, and I knew that basketball from a playing perspective wasn't going to be something that I was going to be able to do. And so it shifted to, well, you could coach it, right? You could coach it. You could still be a part of it on some level. And so that was really what kind of came down the pipe. And I think right now it's really about kind of taking this backseat as I raise my family and as I pour into them. They're so young, and I think about basketball and that grind, and I'm like, not this season.
Because of what it takes, right?
Not this season, right?
Because of what it takes, what it takes to be great and do it at the level,
yes,
right? That you know it would require in order to also breed greatness, right?
Exactly.
Like knowing and understanding that.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel that. I think a lot about that, about like your coaching, right? And the importance of having a Black female coach coaching a predominantly Black team, like
literally.
That makes my stomach go, whoo, like, right? Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I wish I was, because I know it's kooky, but it gives me tingles, honey.
Yes.
Because I know the importance of it. And I think about what that must have meant, even if they didn't know it then. Like, even if they didn't know it then, I would imagine that some or most of them would be able to look back now and be like, damn.
Yeah.
That was hella dope. Right?
That was dope.
Right?
Literally. That was dope.
Like, that was hella dope.
Yeah.
You know what I think about hearing you say, you know, as we're talking about this stuff, is also the importance for the players that were not Black to be led by a Black woman, and normalizing that, right?
Exactly.
I think that is so important. And I think that coaching experiences help to shape that in professional experiences, whether whether they carry on in basketball or, you know, in a boardroom, right? Like, like how, you know, I've talked before about just not seeing enough of us in the room. And I think that totally also depends on the area that you live in as to what's normal, right? In a workspace.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just sitting on the value of the players that you coached that were also not Black, that were led by you. And trusted in you and connected to you, and that experience and how it carries over into their everyday life and their adult life, and how important that experience is.
Yeah. And how it shapes their mind to think about Black women.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm pausing. I'm going too far because there's so many. Every freeway has an off ramp, y'all, and just know how capable I am of, you know, heading for the off ramp. I'm gonna reel it in, but there's so much in these conversations. Yeah. Okay. We've been talking for a long time, and I feel like I haven't even got to half of the good stuff yet. I know. But I want to talk a little bit about you, just Steph.